I've got fresh NASCAR power rankings hot and ready, and will Audien Cindric catch any heat for right-rearing Ty Dillon? How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Monday, folks. My power rankings look quite a bit different this week. I can't wait to share that with you. First, we have to thank our sponsor, Audien. Most people, as you get older, experience hearing loss, especially if you've been to a lot of NASCAR races. Typical solutions like prescription hearing aids can cost thousands of dollars and can be bulky. Luckily, now with Audien Hearing, you can get hearing aids over the counter. Their Atom 2 hearing aids start at just $189 a pair. You don't need to take a hearing test, see a doctor, or get a prescription. They're delivered to your door in just a few days, and they're simple and easy to order online. Audien's hearing aids are super small, rechargeable, sound great, and don't look like the traditional bulky hearing aids. Audien also just passed 1 million customers, making them the leader in over-the-counter hearing aids. If you're looking for an affordable, high-quality solution, I encourage you to check out Audien Hearing. Click the link down in the description below, check them out, and maybe take advantage of their fast and free shipping. Thank you to Audien for sponsoring the show. Some breaking news from earlier this morning: Katherine Legge will make her NASCAR Cup Series debut this weekend at Phoenix Raceway, driving the number 78 for Live Fast Motorsports. She will be the first woman since Danica Patrick in the 2018 Daytona 500 to race in the Cup Series. I hope she has a good weekend, but this is a very curious collaboration all around. Most of Katherine's experience is road course racing. Last year she ran some IndyCar stuff, some sports car, GTD stuff. She's made a handful of NASCAR starts in the past, but they've all been at road courses. She's made one NASCAR oval start. It was 7 years ago, Richmond Xfinity Series. She finished 28th. She did participate in the preseason ARCA Daytona test. She also participated in the ARCA Daytona race, so she does have some recent stock car oval experience, but it's not much. And now she's going to make her Cup Series debut in probably the slowest car at a track where there's really no good place to hide. Like, seriously, I'm scratching my head. Wouldn't COTA have made more sense? Larger purse, big fox, less travel, and it's a style of racing that more suits her wheelhouse. I mean, good luck to her, but gosh, you're putting the least experienced stock car racer in the slowest car at a 1 mile oval. I mean, no disrespect to Katherine Legge when I say this, but that could be a sketchy situation. Good luck, I suppose. I hope she does well. I hope she has fun, but that could be something to watch this weekend. Power rankings coming up in a few minutes, but there was an incident Sunday that I did not cover in my COTA post-race video, partially because the incident happened on lap 4, so by the time the checkered flag flew, it was no longer a leading headline, but I also put it off because I knew I wanted to spend a few minutes on this topic, and I didn't want to derail my post-race video, so we're going to talk about Audien Cindric now. Lap 4, Circuit of the Americas, Audien Cindric and Ty Dillon are racing for 30th place. When Dillon runs Cindric wide in turn 20, Cindric gets back on the racing surface, and spins Ty Dillon out, who clips the outside guardrail. Not a great look for Audien Cindric. Nobody's published the SMT data, but it seems pretty obvious that Audien Cindric turned left and spun Ty Dillon, right-reared Ty Dillon intentionally. Audien Cindric had a very frustrating weekend. He practiced okay on Saturday, but qualified outside the top 30. He came into the media center afterwards and was flabbergasted, dejected, confused. Like I said, he was racing Ty Dillon for 31st place. None of Team Penske ran well Sunday. I think Blaney in 19th was the best finishing Penske car. So Cindric, we know, was frustrated going in. In my opinion, he was upset that Ty Dillon ran him wide and lost his head for a moment and retaliated, right-reared him. We've seen drivers get suspended for right-rearing their competition. Bubba Wallace at Las Vegas in 2022 right-hooked Kyle Larson, was forced to sit the next week. Chase Elliott, Charlotte 2023, right-reared Denny Hamlin, suspended 1 race. But hey, I know what you're thinking. Those incidents took place at 1.5 mile ovals. Cars were going upwards of 170, 180 when they made contact. But Ty Dillon's contact with the guardrail does not compare to what Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson experienced. So okay, fair enough. Let's look at some other examples that I think are more in line with what Audien Cindric did. Last year, Carson Hocevar right-reared Harrison Burton at Nashville right after the caution came out. Or how about a road course incident in 2022 in the Xfinity Series? Noah Gragson intentionally spun Sage Karam, set off a massive crash at Road America. Neither Gragson nor Hocevar were suspended for those incidents. Hocevar was docked 25 points, fined $50,000, and Noah Gragson was docked 35 points, $35K. Audien Cindric absolutely should have been penalized for right-rearing Ty Dillon. I believe he did it on purpose, lost his head for a moment. In my opinion, NASCAR should have just parked him for 2 laps. They could have wiped their hands of the situation and it wouldn't be the big talking point it is this week. But instead, NASCAR chose to let it go, instead punted the decision to Tuesday, and now we all get to guess what their ruling is or isn't going to be. I think you have to penalize Audien Cindric for that. I don't think you suspend him. I think what he did was more in line with what Hocevar did last year, or Noah Gragson to an extent. I actually think it was less egregious than what Noah Gragson did. Noah's retaliation wrecked like a dozen cars. But okay, let's judge the action, not the result. What Cindric did to Dillon was similar to what Gragson did to Karam. So Cindric should get a 25-point, $50,000 fine. That's what I think the penalty should be. Part of the reason I don't believe there will be a suspension is because suspensions now carry even more weight. Remember, NASCAR unveiled a new playoff waiver policy. The rule now states, if NASCAR grants a driver who skips a race a playoff waiver for non-permissible reasons, that driver will forfeit all past and future playoff points for the rest of the regular season. Should the driver in question qualify for the playoffs, they will start with the baseline 2,000 points in the reset standings. The only permissible reasons for a driver to skip a race are medical, like you got hurt, birth of a child, family emergency, age restrictions, you haven't turned 18 yet. Suspension is not listed among the excused absences. So that stands to reason that if Audien Cindric does get suspended, he would lose any and all playoff points he might collect during the 2025 regular season. That is a very steep penalty, and it's part of why I believe NASCAR will not go that route. I would expect a points penalty, a fine. Again, I think they should have just parked him for 2 laps in the moment. I don't think you needed to wait for SMT. I think it was pretty clear what he did. We could have moved on in the moment. Instead, we get to talk about it until Tuesday or maybe Wednesday's penalty report. Anyway, a lot of people have been talking about that. Wanted to spend a few minutes looking at some recent historical precedent, but now I want to talk power rankings. The last couple weeks we focused on super speedways, drafting tracks. Today, we're just talking overall, the 10 fastest overall teams in the NASCAR Cup Series. We don't have a lot of good, reliable data to go off of. 2 super speedways and a road course. I guess Bowman Gray. So I'm still going to refer back to the end of 2024 for some of these rankings. Of course, as usual, we're also looking ahead at some of the tracks coming up. Anyway, top 10 teams right now in Cup. Let's roll. I had a hard time deciding who would go in at number 10. I decided on Chris Buescher. 0 laps led so far this year. That's not great, but he's one of only 8 drivers to have 2 top 10 finishes already. Plus, he was top 10 in the Clash at Bowman Gray. Quiet, consistent performance from Chris Buescher so far. Let's see where RFK Racing stacks up at the traditional ovals like Phoenix, Las Vegas, Homestead coming up over the next few weeks. Bubba Wallace is at number 9 this week. Hey, he's 6th in points. Had a good run at Atlanta, earned more stage points than anyone, finished 9th, showed flashes at COTA, qualified 2nd, took advantage of strategy to get some stage points and a stage win. And don't forget, Bubba was top 5 at Bowman Gray, so perhaps the 23 team can get off to a hot start for a change. Kyle Busch is one of those drivers with multiple top 10s, 7th at Atlanta, top 5 at Circuit of the Americas. Both are very unique tracks. I think Phoenix, Las Vegas will be the real test for RCR, but it's been nice seeing Kyle Busch consistently run up near the front the past few weeks. Kyle Busch at 8. At number 7, Alex Bowman. He had to overcome a lot to score a top 10 at Circuit of the Americas. He was 6th at Daytona as well, and remember, at the end of last season, he was very consistent in the playoffs. 7 top 15 finishes during last year's postseason. That's pretty good. Alex Bowman, usually consistent. I have him at number 7. Yes, it has been a rocky start to the year for Kyle Larson, but come on, is anyone really counting him out? He's not a good super speedway racer, but he still finished second and won a stage at Atlanta. And Coda, that wasn't as much on driver as it was on the team, with that loose wheel putting him way behind. He's got Las Vegas and Homestead coming up soon. Kyle Larson won 6 races last year, led the most laps, scored more points than anyone. One bad road course race is not enough for me to knock Kyle Larson out of the top 10. Give me Tyler Reddick at number 5. Only 3 drivers have multiple top 5s so far, and Reddick is one of them. Second at Daytona, third at Circuit of the Americas. He also sat on the pole, and remember last season, of course, he made it to the championship 4. Tyler Reddick is an easy pick at number 5. Chase Elliott at number 4 does not have multiple top 5s, but he is top 5 in the regular season points right now, and he has a win. Not a points-paying win, but he won Bowman Gray. Much like his teammate Alex Bowman, Elliott faced a ton of adversity at Coda, had to overcome a lot to still get a good finish in the end. Between how he finished last year and how he's run up front to start this year, I like what I'm seeing from Chase Elliott. I hope this speed continues at the traditional ovals coming up. Top 3, I've got Ryan Blaney at 3. It was a quiet day at Coda for all of Team Penske, really, but somehow Ryan Blaney still finds himself second in points through the first 3 races. And now we head to Phoenix, a track that Blaney and Penske have dominated in years past. Can you believe Ryan Blaney has finished top 5 at Phoenix 7 races in a row? 7 straight top 5s. Look for the 12 to bounce back this weekend. The top 2 are obvious. They're the 2 points race winners who also finished 1-2 at Coda yesterday. We'll start with William Byron. Solid start to the year after making his second straight Championship 4 appearance just a few months ago. First at Daytona, second at Coda, and he was running third at Atlanta when he got caught up in the Larson-Cindric incident. Ton of speed out of Byron so far. So far, so good for Team 24. And at number 1, the obvious choice, Christopher Bell. 2 wins already on the year. Atlanta, a super speedway. Coda, a road course, could not be more different. And now we're going to Phoenix, where Bell won 1 year ago. And then after that, Las Vegas, where he led 155 laps last fall. And then Homestead, where he's won before. Martinsville, where he's won before. Christopher Bell realistically could turn this 2-race winning streak into like a 4-race winning streak, or like 4 out of 5. It's not far-fetched. I could see it. The way these next few races line up for Christopher Bell, it's right in his wheelhouse. I expect Bell, Adam Stevens, that team to continue their hot start. Obvious choice at number 1. There you go. My top 10 overall fastest teams in the NASCAR Cup Series 3 weeks into the season. I think we'll learn a lot at Phoenix. We'll learn a lot at Las Vegas the week after that, but I feel pretty good about my top 10 so far. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. That's gonna do it for this episode, y'all. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR news, content, commentary, and more every single day. And a big thank you to my generous Patreon supporters. I will talk to y'all again soon. Have a great rest of your Monday, folks. Thanks again for watching.